All eyes are on Hurricane Matthew as it surges toward the East Coast. How people are preparing and the impact it's already having on travel. Just ahead.
The Williamsburg police chief says the driver of this truck nearly killed him and several others yesterday during a high-speed chase.
A big announcement here today at Berea College. We'll tell you how $85 million is going to be spent throughout the state of Kentucky coming up.
This is WKYT News at Noon.
And welcome to WKYT News at Noon. I'm Barbara Bailey.
I'm Bill Bryant. Here's what's happening at noon. This pretty much tells the story. It's what's going on with this hurricane right now. The National Hurricane Center says Hurricane Matthew has strengthened now to a Category 4 storm.
Florida is preparing for a possible direct hit from the hurricane later tonight. And forecasters say the storm is packing dangerous winds up to 140 miles per hour as it batters the Bahamas. Marley Hall is now in Daytona Beach with the very latest in our top story at noon.
A sign on a boarded-up building says closed for business as Hurricane Matthew approaches Florida. Forecasters say Matthew has strengthened once again to a monster Category 4 storm.
This is serious.
The governor is concerned about the storm's powerful winds and storm surge. More than 1.5 million people in the storm's path have been told to evacuate.
There are no excuses. You need to leave. Evacuate, evacuate, evacuate.
Storm preparations continued across Florida. Shelves are empty. Officials issued hurricane warnings and watches from Florida to South Carolina. Here in Daytona Beach, streets are empty. Most people have evacuated. But across the state, 1,500 National Guard troops have been called up just in case. Matthew hit the Bahamas this morning, packing winds up to 125 miles per hour. Roads are littered with debris. Matthew devastated parts of Haiti. Poorly constructed homes are completely gone. People waded through knee-deep high water trying to reach higher ground. Matthew is blamed for at least 25 deaths, and that number could rise. Marley Hall, CBS News, Daytona Beach, Florida.
Now, the governor of Georgia just issued mandatory evacuation orders for people in 6 coastal counties.
Several airlines have already canceled flights because of Hurricane Matthew. We've learned of more cancellations for tomorrow. Here in Kentucky, some people are having to change their travel plans to avoid the storm.
WKYT's Hillary Thornton is at Bluegrass Airport now with more on the travel troubles caused by Hurricane Matthew. It's part of our top story, team coverage.
While we are quite a ways away from Hurricane Matthew, the impacts are being seen on travelers here at Bluegrass Airport. Today, 2 flights to the Florida area are canceled, and tomorrow's flight schedule is already seeing a cancellation. Airport officials say October is a busy travel month for them with their normal traffic added to fall breaks and events going on during this month, like Keeneland. A spokeswoman for Bluegrass Airport says right now they're only seeing impacts of Hurricane Matthew to flights in and out of Orlando and Fort Lauderdale. Those are both direct flights here at Bluegrass Airport. However, they say more travelers are likely to be impacted, and it is important to check the full flight status since many flights out of here go on to connect elsewhere before going to their final destination.
We're fortunate here in Lexington because most of our flights go to hub cities that are not necessarily on the coast, and so those cities won't be affected. However, if you're connecting to one of those cities, then you certainly might be impacted. So most likely you'll be fine with your flight from Lexington, but if you're going to a hub city, you might see an impact on the next flight.
And Cottle says the best thing to do if you are planning to fly in the next few days is visit the website for the airline you're traveling and then check out their travel advisories. In Lexington, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Hillary, thank you. And Cottle says they anticipate very little, if any, additional impact to flights here at Bluegrass.
All right, we'll see, obviously, and there's a lot to watch. And as we continue to track Hurricane Matthew on the East Coast, some changes also are expected in our region as well this weekend, but for the most part, it's pretty pleasant.
WKYT meteorologist Micah Harris is live in our First Alert Weather Center now. What are we expecting?
Well, guys, it looks like we're going to be expecting some pretty nice weather. This isn't going to have an impact on our weather. It actually helps us out indirectly. There's a little drier air off into the forecast there for the weekend, and as we have a front over us, it looks pretty good right now here, but it doesn't look good down south. We actually have live footage. This is out of West Palm Beach. This is the southern peninsula. You go really far south. I mean, you got to get just to the north of Miami to actually be at West Palm Beach, and there is the look right now. Now, it's not over it. That area at this moment, but as you see, we're actually going to be seeing that system track through the Bahamas as is going right now. It's heading toward that area. You can actually see where West Palm Beach is located. That was the live look. Here's the look on radar, as you can see that at the top of the screen. So it's about 150, 200 miles out. It's still got a ways before it actually reaches there. I'd say it's overnight before it reaches at least close to West Palm Beach. Where it could make landfall is anywhere from West Palm Beach northbound as you get up the I-95 corridor. And at that moment, tomorrow morning at roughly 8 a.m., we're looking at 145 mile per hour winds. To put that in perspective, that's the equivalent of an EF3 tornado around here. So we know much more about tornadoes than hurricanes. So just to put that in perspective, this is a very violent, strong storm. We're going to give you more updates as we go throughout the afternoon hours, as well as Chris Bailey gets in here. But I'm going to show you the rest of this track and how that's going to affect South Carolina, the rest of Florida, even southern portions of Georgia, and also our weekend forecast. That's coming up.
Okay, lots to keep track of. We thank you. Now we have some other news.
A Southern Kentucky police chief says he's lucky to be alive today. The Williamsburg police chief says a high-speed chase nearly led to him and several of his officers being killed.
WKYT's Phil Pendleton is in Whitley County, where he got his hands on the dash cam video of the chase. Phil?
This is the truck that police say that the suspect was driving when he led police on the high-speed pursuit in the Canada town of Whitley County. This all began yesterday afternoon as officers were investigating a burglary while there at a house in Canada town. This truck, they say, pulled up and then quickly turned around and led police on the chase. They followed him. He was going anywhere from 75 to 90 miles an hour, they say, on a roadway that probably the safe speed is only about 35 to 40 miles an hour. The road is Log Cabin Road, and it makes a complete loop. Police set up a roadblock of sorts. They say at that point the driver of the truck went by them, flying by them, going probably 75 miles an hour and nearly striking 3 officers and another driver in a car that was also near that scene. The Williamsburg police chief tells me that in 21 years of law enforcement, he has never been more fearful of his life as he was in that moment.
So I dive out of the way, and as I'm diving out of the way, Detective Freeman is still on the road, and the suspect's headed straight toward him.
And the driver of this truck, the suspect that is facing attempted murder of a police officer charges, in addition to another charge of attempted murder of an individual, is 24-year-old Brandon Stinnett. He is facing these charges at the Whitley County Jail. Police say they believe that the reason why he led police on such a crazy chase is because he was under the influence of crystal meth, also known as ice. We're going to have a lot more on this later today, but for now in Whitley County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Phil, thank you. And police say a woman who was with Stinnett, who tried to escape during the chase, was injured and was taken to a hospital for treatment.
A fire in downtown Lexington has firefighters reminding people to check their smoke detectors. Firefighters think the fire started on a stove in an apartment on East 4th Street near Martin Luther King today. Crews were able to put the fire out quickly, but said they did not find any working smoke detectors.
So that's always a good reminder, especially as we get into, the colder months where we've got heat and fireplaces and those kinds of things that are going to be going.
Now, no one was in the apartment at the time. Firefighters say there is a lot of smoke damage inside.
A southern Kentucky woman is accused of slashing another woman's throat. The McCreary County Voice reports the attack happened on Bill Slavin Road off of US 27 in Whitley City. The paper says 21-year-old Miranda Allen admitted to the attack and said she was not sorry. Allen is charged with first-degree assault. The victim is expected to recover. A big announcement today for the city of Berea. U.S. Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack paid a visit to Berea College today.
While there, he announced $400 million will be used to help reduce poverty in some of the nation's poorest communities. And the city of Berea will be receiving a large portion of that funding. WKYT's Lauren Miner has more on how that money will be spent. Lauren?
Secretary Vilsack made the big announcement here at Berea College just a little while ago. Community developed organizations in Kentucky will relent $85 million to communities throughout the state. Those organizations include Kentucky Highlands Investment Corp., Community Ventures, and Federation of Appalachian Housing Enterprises, also known as FAHE, located right here in Berea. FAHE will receive 50 of that $85 million. That money will be spent throughout each community on things such as public safety facilities, education, housing, healthcare facilities, public community support centers, and more. Essentially, the money will help fill the needs in each community. The mayor of Berea says this is really big news for the community and is looking forward to seeing improvements.
Other opportunities that will be relending this federal money to provide opportunities for our low-income individuals.
The mayor also told me he didn't realize how big this news really was until he got here today. He said this isn't just a big step for the city of Berea, but for all rural communities throughout the country. Reporting in Berea, Lauren Miner, WKYT.
Now, earlier this year, the city was awarded a $10 million USDA loan to renovate and expand the city hall and public safety facilities.
Major announcement there today. Well, the presidential candidates are gearing up for their next debate. We'll take you out on the campaign trail when we come back on WKYT News at noon, Kentucky's #1 midday news.
Welcome back. Both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are gearing up for their second debate Sunday night in St. Louis.
They're doing it in different ways. Clinton is staying off the campaign trail for the next few days as she prepares for the debate. However, she will be holding a fundraiser. And Trump is holding a small town hall meeting for the press today in New Hampshire. His campaign is looking to rebound in Sunday's town hall style debate. Muhammad Ali's Louisville home is up for sale. The house on Elmcroft Circle off US 42 is listed at $2.2 million. The home is under title to Lama LLC, which is owned by Lonnie Ali, the widow to the boxing champion who died in June. The Alis only stayed at that house occasionally, as they spent most of their time at their Arizona home, where the weather was better for Ali's long failing health.
A Kentucky coaching legend is being remembered today. Bobby Keith died yesterday at the age of 75. Keith coached the Clay County basketball team for 29 seasons. During that span, he took the Tigers to the state tournament a record 18 times and held a record of 18-1 in regional championships. Keith was also named Kentucky High School Coach of the Year 5 times. What a career.
Oh, I'm telling you, his teams came ready to play.
They always did.
Yep.
Well, you know it's fall in the bluegrass when the horses start racing.
And Keeneland's fall meet starts tomorrow. This is a special fall for the historic track. Keeneland is celebrating its 80th anniversary of racing. Ahead of tomorrow's opening, the track unveiled its newest milestone trophy, the Keeneland Vase. We'll be reporting live from Keeneland Trackside starting early tomorrow on WKYT This Morning. Hope you can join us. Well, WKYT's Micah Harris now tracking the path of Hurricane Matthew. We'll have that forecast from him just ahead.
And Kentucky power crews are headed to the hurricane area to help with outages. WKYT's Andrea Walker will have more on that when our noon hour continues.
Eye wall of this storm, the strongest part of it, rolled through Nassau and also the Bahamas just about 6 hours ago. We're going to see that truck toward the northeast. We're going to go over that with the timing coming up next.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
It is a pretty good look outside as we're actually sitting with another warm, feels like summer day. I mean, you have the moisture outside, you have the warm air. We'll be right there in the lower 80s again this afternoon. That'll be the third consecutive day that we actually reach that. As you look across the region, you got to go down southeast to actually feel really nice. Central northern zones, it doesn't feel bad, don't get me wrong, but it is a lot warmer than everybody else. We're at 82 degrees later on this afternoon. That is above average, average being at 72. There's nothing to worry about today, nothing to really worry about on your Friday, as Friday's still pretty nice for opening day of Keeneland. So let's focus on what's going on with Hurricane Matthew. You guys have heard about it for the past 3 or 4 days, and you know what? For the next 3 or 4, you're hearing about it too. Here's the eye wall. I mean, you can see the center. That is a well-defined eye right there. And actually on the north and northeast side, that's the strongest part of that. Just went through Nassau, and not only that, but the Bahamas as well. And that put down some pretty big damage in that area. Now it's moving through portions of the Bahamas and heading toward that West Palm Beach area. West Palm Beach being 170 miles away from the eye wall of the storm. Already feeling the effects on the outskirts, but from the center of it. So what does it look like down there? Let's check this out. This is live footage from West Palm Beach. Here is the look right now. You can see the palm trees blowing in the wind, and also it does not look good there. A lot of rain, a lot of wind. Right now gusting at roughly 30 miles per hour. That's what it looks like right now, but just give it another 12 to 18 hours and you're talking bumping up those winds by possibly 10. I mean, you're talking about some, not 10, but by about 5 or 10. So you're going to be looking at some winds really gusting as it slides on in, and then it really ramps up as it gets a little bit closer overnight. Overnight, we could be at roughly 100 to 145 mile per hour winds in that area. Rides along the coastline. This is a new update with the track. Traveling northbound and northeastbound, and it'll really just ride along that coastline. If you have family members there, and I would say inland, more like Orlando, they should be fine. I don't see much of an issue. You'll get some strong wind, you'll get some heavy rain, maybe even down at Disney World, some friends and family members. They won't have a big issue out of this. It's really along that coastline, and then it kind of circles on around, and you can see Myrtle Beach there at the center of your screen. I don't see major effects in that area, maybe some flooding and also some storm surge, but look at this thing wrap around. It may roll back through the Bahamas once again, and maybe even touch Florida again. I mean, it's a pretty phenomenal storm. It won't affect our forecast. 79 on Friday. We're in the 60s there for the weekend, guys, for Keeneland. It'll be much cooler there for the weekend. If you're planning on heading out to any of these events, you might have to dress appropriately because it's going to be a little...
To be encouraged.
Yes,
absolutely. If you want to enjoy yourself.
You know, it's always good to dress appropriately.
Well, that's true. That's true. You just might throw on a few more appropriate clothes.
Might be a little chilly.
Couple extra layers.
Micah. Thank you. Good job with all the you've been handling today. Well, when we come right back, another classic in the Major League playoffs.
And a Kentucky youngster has to come up big against the Commodores. Dave Baker has sports next.
And checking stocks as we head into afternoon trading. It's a mixed situation right now with the S&P 500 up a little, the other two indicators down.
Really different scenario for the Cats on Saturday at home against Vanderbilt. Instead of having nothing to lose, they've got plenty to lose. Kentucky quarterback Steven Johnson making his third start of the season. And while he's improved in many areas, ball security, it is still a big issue. Against Bama, Johnson fumbled 3 times. He's fumbled 5 times on the season.
He reverted back to some of his JC days where he could take off and run and make people miss and stiff arm, and that's great. In junior college, not at Alabama. We can't do that, and he's got to learn to go down. He's got to learn to throw the ball away and not take shots in certain situations. And as long as he continues to learn that, we're going to keep progressing at quarterback.
The Wildcats faced with a must-win situation on Saturday if they hope to salvage the season and make a bowl game. It's a 4 o'clock kickoff on the SEC Network. How about Major League playoffs last night? This is the NL wildcard game. 3-run home run, top of the 9th. Connor Gillespie of Juris Familia to deep right. Crawford and Joe Panik score 3-0. And you know what? That's like a monstrous number for Madison Bumgarner. I mean, this guy has been like out of control in the postseason. He gets T.J. Rivera to fly out to center to end this one. San Francisco gets the win as they move on in the NL wildcard race. Bumgarner has got an ERA in the postseason of less than 1. It's down to about 0.5 now. Giants win 3-0. They'll play the Cubs in the National League Divisional Series. Tonight on the Big Blue Insider with Dick Gabriel, it's the Insiders Roundtable. Live from the Shamrock Bar and Grill in Heartland, Max Godby, Anthony White, Mark Berger. That's at 6 on 630 WLAP. We'll see you back here for the WKYT News at 6:30 on the CW Lexington. And we've got high school football tonight, guys, because of the whole fall break thing. Highlights, previews coming up a little bit later. But for now, back to you.
All right, fun day ahead. Thank you, Buzz.
And there's more to come in our next half hour of WKYT News at noon.
Of course, we're keeping track of Hurricane Matthew as it slams into the Bahamas and heads toward the east coast of the United States.
And WKYT's Andrea Walker talked with the Kentucky Power Company that's sending crews to the East Coast to help with power outages. We'll hear from her just ahead. Tomorrow night's Mega Millions jackpot is $41 million, and Saturday night's Powerball jackpot is $91 million.